Right, so Bremley, today is World Mangrove Day, and there must be a reason why there is a World Mangrove Day. So tell us about the importance of World Mangrove Day, mangrove trees in general, and tell us about a project that you're involved in.
Sure. So, yes, we celebrate World Mangrove Day every year on the 26th of July. And today we are doing so, but I wish I was with the mangrove trees whose roots are so deep, going down into the swamps by the sea. Like these are roots too, but this is not a mangrove tree. Here we are in England. But mangroves are superheroes on our planet because their root system are so deep. They prevent the salt water from going into productive agricultural land because these roots would block saltwater intrusion. That's a major ecosystem services they provide. On top of that, these root systems and the mangrove tree draw down 5 to 10 times more carbon, depending how big the tree is, because they can go up to 30 meters.
Wow.
5 to 10 times more carbon than these trees in Europe or in the US. So that's a lot. That's very efficient for mangroves. And each mangrove tree produces enough oxygen for us, for 5 people to breathe for their lifetime. That's a lot of oxygen. And wherever we grow these mangrove trees, depending which species they are, fish is born out of them, from the smallest little fish all the way to big sharks that's born out of mangroves. So if we are to restore these ecosystems worldwide, it will replenish the depleted fish stocks that we're facing right now, and it would help boost the economy, especially the food security of a lot of people in the coastal areas around the world. Because if we destroy mangroves, we also lose fresh habitats where these marine life forms lay their eggs or grow their young ones in the roots of the mangroves. And of course, they are natural barriers for storms and hurricanes and floods and tsunamis, but they also protect and create a shield to break mega storms from category 5 to category 4 or 3, so it can actually break the force of the storm. So I think from an insurance point of view, if you have a big port or assets by the seaside, if you cut down mangroves, you're in deep trouble. Like what's happening in Florida and Louisiana, you know, big storms, hurricanes come each year and they get pushed off and destroyed and decimated. But if you protect your mangroves, they will block you from those storms and waves, and your property will be intact. But if you cut them down, you will be washed away by the big storms and the floods. That's for sure.
Tell us about a project that you're working on in maybe Africa.
So last year, after I met officials, including ministers from the Gambia and Ghana, I was invited to come meet them. So I went there last year in December and actually met the team from Worldview, the Gambia, our partner, that is actually planting mangroves by Banjul, which is the capital of the Gambia. So there's an urgent need to restore their mangrove ecosystems because a lot of their coastline is being eroded by the tides coming in. So they're putting in rocks and so on and so forth along the way, but there's not much they can hold. So we need to have boots on the ground and plant like millions of trees. So right now we are in negotiation with the government and the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change to acquire the land, build a team so we can start our nurseries and start planting as soon as possible, maybe by next year. Collect the planting materials, survey the land, and do the assessment. That's what's happening right now. But the goal is to start with 5,000 hectares and then scale up to 20,000 hectares. I mean, the Gambia is a small country. It just has a big river that goes in, the River Gambia. But a lot of salt water is intruding into fresh water. And you can even see mangroves growing way inland into the river, into the freshwater river. So obviously the tide's changing. So we need to act now. And I hope to get back to West Africa soon. And if our project goes well in the Gambia, we can then replicate it in 15 countries all along West Africa. That's the target.
Right, okay. So what's the sort of economic impact of these projects for the Gambia?
Well, There was an assessment done by UNEP looking at the total economic benefits of mangrove ecosystems in West Africa, whatever's left right now, and the total economic benefits that these mangrove ecosystems on the coast of different West African countries is worth $65 billion.
Wow.
$65 billion. Now that's a lot of money. And how do you calculate? Or how do you come to that value? It's all those ecosystem services that I mentioned to you earlier. Carbon sequestration, oxygen production, defense from storms and floods, and fish charge, or replenishing the fish stock in the oceans, and then regulating the tide in and out. And some of the mangrove trees also have some medicinal values and can be used for medicinal purposes. And also you can have a lot of ecological ecotourism when you have restored these mangroves. And they block salt water from intruding into fertile grounds, which you need for food security and food production. So if you add all these up, it works out to $65 billion.
So there's really a huge case for economic gain for these kinds of projects.
Absolutely. And I think people are waking up to understand the power of mangroves, because these trees are miracle trees and they don't cost too much to plant. It costs between $1 to $3, that's not much. And here you're spending $600 to do 1 ton of carbon capture and storage for a machine. But it's a mechanical solution. We need a biological solution, and the best biological solution to combat climate change real time are mangroves. And we have 120 countries around the world where we can engage to do that right now. So 1 trillion mangroves can be planted in all these countries, because we've lost 50%, 30 to 50% of mangrove forests on Earth. So we have an opportunity to restore up to 30% globally, and the time to act is now.
Right.
So, happy World Mangrove Day! I'm very happy to be here with the Worldview, the Gambia team. As you can see, they planted these mangroves 6 years ago, 10,000 of them in December, which is not even the planting season. And as you can see behind me, they've all survived with the grace of God. So this is what we call the miracle trees. And now, with Worldview Gambia and the different line departments and the ministries of natural resources and climate change and the forest department and the wildlife and parks department, we're going to plant at least 25 million more of these mangrove trees in the next 5 to 10 years. We're looking forward to working with the people of the Gambia to fight climate change right here by the Atlantic Ocean. This is Bremley Lyngdoh signing off from Banjul. Thank you very much. What happened to this area? It looks as if sea water has come right in and taking the sand dune out.
Absolutely. There's a lot of coastal erosion. Coastal erosion is affecting here. And initially, 10 years back, you walk on the sand dunes until you reach the sea, the Atlantic shoreline. But now you can see the system has changed. Because of erosion, it is forming an island here now.
Yeah.
So
and that tree has also fallen
that tree
right
has
there.
fallen down. It was a big tree standing here. Because of erosion, it fell down. You can see they put some rocks here to stop,
to block,
to block the movement of sand. Yeah. Otherwise, all of here would have gone.
So the sea is coming all the way here now.
All the way here, right? Yeah. When it's
Great.
high tide, the sea will come all the way here. You can see the mud crabs right here.
Yep, a lot of mud crabs.
Yeah.
And the mangroves are all the way there, that side. And how is the health of those mangroves?
Yeah, they are actually healthy, very healthy. They're in a good shape, of course.
Okay.
You know, normally Conocapus rectus is always located on the sand dunes.
Yeah.
So you can find them along the shoreline only, not in the riverside.
Exactly. So there are different species of mangroves here.
Yes, there are different species.
Yeah. Is there any land for restoration here also? Or there is?
Yes, there is.
All
right
that
behind
side.
there and behind there are all areas that can be restored.
Yeah.
Here there is very big land, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me again what you said just now, planting very densely to change the ecosystem, and then the birds and fish started coming back rapidly.
Yeah, it is important because, you know, planting for us, for Department of Parks and Wildlife, we do it to ensure that the ecological integrity is restored.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, we like to do dense planting.
How many trees per hectare?
close to 10,000.
Yeah, very dense.
You can, yes, between 8 to 10,000.
Yeah.
You can do that in 1 hectare.
Yeah.
And the first thing it will create is leaves that will, change the water temperature, cool the water temperature, and allow fish and other aquatic animals to come in. And it will also create shade, and they can come in and stay. Even the first year, fish can come in and stay. Immediately they can come and stay.
Yeah.
And after 2-3 years, the prop roots will start digging holes. Now the mold will get even more softer because it will have a lot of holes. Those holes provide home for fish. They provide home for mud crabs. You understand? So you always have water moving from underground and up and down. So it creates habitat. Even crocodiles can live there. But also fish that are there are secured because when you attack them, they can always disappear because there's a lot of
holes to hide.
Prop roots and a lot of holes to hide.
Where did you do that? Which part of the area did you do that test?
Yes, actually a lot of that is done in Bintambolong area.
Cool.
Bintambolong area. You will be lucky if you come back here again. You will go around to see all what is done in the country.
I really want to see that.
Yeah, because it's really important. Coverage is important, but also the ecological integrity of a particular area is really important. You can bring a lot of fish quickly, and because the community need fish.
Yeah.
Like Bintambolong, because long time they don't have fish in their river, the economy has, fall down, nothing in the community, people were moving away. And because of that, when we did dense planting, in 2-3 years, there was a lot of fish. Fishermen are coming. Right now, there's a lot of fishermen there. Even the communities cannot consume all the fish they are catching. They have to take it to the market. And
I like the speed of you healing the ecosystem. Within 1 year, you can see impact and changes.
Absolutely. Even our minister was amazed the last time he went to one of the sites.
Yeah.
He couldn't believe that was done by people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the amount of work that is done there is unbelievable.
Excellent.
It's unbelievable. And also our arrangement, the way we do our work, having a team collecting propagulls, having another team transporting, having another team planting, really works for us very well because there is no time that a propagull will be laid and get dry or disabled. No.
So it's like a military style operation, step by step. No time to waste.
No time to waste.
So these are little baby mangrove trees planted here by the coastline of Banjul, the capital of the Gambia. With a population of 2 million people, it's the smallest country in West Africa, and we're going to start planting another 25 million next year with the Worldview Gambia team that we've met here today. And the team has already planted 10,000 mangrove trees on the other side of the road, and they seem to be all surviving, at least 95% survival rate, which is great. They were planted 6 years ago in December. So here we go. This is Bremley Lyngdoh reporting from Banjul in the Gambia. So my brother, tell me when you started planting these mangroves.
Well, we planted this mangrove in 2015 during the International Volunteers Day celebration. Yeah, it is one of the activities that was conducted to celebrate the International Volunteers Day, and it was planted by Worldview the Gambia and the Fortress of Development for Africa in collaboration with National Volunteers Network and United Nations Volunteers. It was one of those activities that we did in 2015, and making it exactly 6 years today that we planted this. As a matter of fact, this mangrove, the propagulls was planted during December when it was not even the planting season. But amazingly, 90% of these mangroves survived, and which makes us believe that yes, we can always do more for the Gambia, and that is why we are here today, to make sure that we plant more mangroves so that our fishes, our shrimps, crabs can have a breeding space, and even the mangroves will act as a natural dike against disaster, flood, and storm. So that is why we are here today. We know we can do better and we can do more to protect the Gambia with mangrove restoration. Welcome to Worldview the Gambia.